Page 64, Coffee House Boogie. It's a boogie-woogie, another type of music, like ragtime music or jazz or swing or whatever. Well, boogie-woogie is another type of music. Usually has a lot of syncopated notes in it and a lot of accidentals. And we have a lot of flat signs here. Now this is unit 6, and they're introducing the 8th rest. So I guess this unit is going to be on the 8th rest. Remember, every note has a corresponding rest. The whole note, whole rest, half note, half rest, blah, blah, okay. 8th note, 8th rest. They show what one looks like up above. They show you the 8th note and the 8th rest. That's what it looks like. If you have 2 8th notes together, they usually beam them. If you have 2 8th rests together, they never beam them. 8th rests are always separate. Usually they would just turn the 2 8th rests into a quarter rest because it's easier to read. Depends on the music. One word of warning about 8th rest: if you're hand drawing them, make sure that little flag thingy goes off to the left. Because as music has evolved over the years, there used to be another symbol where the little flag thingy went to the right. And so if you do that, some people like me would treat that as a different, not an 8th rest. It used to be a quarter rest. Before we used the squiggly diving bird thing for quarter rests, the quarter rest looked like an 8th rest, but the flag went off to the right. That's the difference. If you look at music that's printed 100 years ago or more, you'll see those old style quarter rests. If you're using computer software or whatever to do your notation, the computer will take care of it. But if you're hand drawing them, make sure an 8th rest goes off to the left. Anyway, the 8th rest is the same count as an 8th note. You just quiet for however long an 8th note would get. That's all. Now let's look this over. It's about 1.5 pages long. Clef signs are treble and bass clef. There's no sharps or flats in the key signature. We're going to pretend this is in the key of C major. It's not, but we're going to pretend that it is. Go ahead and do the scales for C major and A minor, because we haven't had the scale yet for what this really is, and I don't want to get into that. So just stick C major and A minor scales, stick with that. And 4/4 time signature. One hand at a time, because we've got things going on. We're starting out here with the C chord with an E flat. You can figure that 1 3 5, or you can figure it 1 2 4, whichever. You decide. There's sometimes you need one fingering and other times you need another. So in this case you could do either one, whichever. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and this is fun. Now you'll notice between measures 4 and 5 there's a double bar. Remember, that's the symbol for leaving one section and starting a new one. So the first 4 bars is just an introduction. It's just setting the mood and the harmony. And so measure 5 is where it starts. And now we're down here. And that is a D and an E flat. Here. 1. It's lovely. I just love it. It's too early in the morning. But measure 6. 1 and 2 and. Because the 8th rest comes on beat 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this rhythm is all over the place. Measure 10. Up here, 1 and 2 and, because the 8th rests come on the beats. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3. No, I know, that's okay. Now at measure 18, you're here. Measure 19, you got to be up here. It's the same position. You're up here. You just when you just lift up and move, just like between phrases you lift like that. Well, here when you lift up, you're going to move. It's not a quick jerky motion. You just here and here. And the measure 21, it has an AVA above the steps. You're going up again. And it stays there until the very end. Last measure, the no AVA. It's just an E flat and a C, and you should know both of those notes. A C is 2 ledger lines above. Remember, C is symmetrical. It's our Latin here, and this is here. You can do that. If you don't want to be up in here, you can do that. I don't care. Depends on how big your hands are. Left hand, we'll start here. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 and 4 and 1 2. And that's it. Let's go down to measure 9. It's a crossover. We're doing the octaves, you're getting this. So maybe it's time you started doing the C major and A minor scales 2 octaves if you haven't been doing it. Otherwise, you do here. Just relax. Your hand will move quite a ways if you'll just relax. And here, you can turn a little bit. Don't turn a lot. Here. Now measure 10. That's only an eighth note. One and, because when the right hand plays, you got to be quiet here. Measure 13. You're up here. They want you to do this 1, 3. That's okay. It's good practice because there is a sort of a standard fingering, not really, but okay. When you want to play what's known as a chromatic scale, I don't think we've covered them. A chromatic scale is when you're playing all the notes, up or down. It's here. And generally, you would use thumb on the white keys, most of them, and third finger on the black keys. That's all they're doing here. They're preparing you for that. So that's fine. It's not how I would finger it in a piece. I would just go ahead 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I would finger it. But I think they're getting ready to present something else. So let's just do this. You do that a couple of times, then we come down. We put the hands together. Now, when I first put the hands together, I'm hesitating. I don't care. That's fine. Just here. Here. Make sure you're lifting up in the right hand. There's rests in there. Again. Let's go to measure 5. You're here. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and measure 10. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and. Now, toward the end, like a measure 19, you're here. The left hand didn't move, the right hand did. And then a measure 21, when the right hand comes up, the left hand doesn't move. That AVA is only to the staff it's next to. If they wanted both hands, they'd have to put a note in both hands. Or they'd have to put the AVA above both staffs. So that left hand's still there. But at the end, now the left hand comes down, but you got 3 beats of rest to do it in. Now once I have the hands working together, then I go back over it slowly and carefully and get rid of the hesitation. So it's a steady beat. And once I can do that, then I'll add the articulation. This left hand I'm going to connect. They don't give us anything, we can do what we want, but I'm suggesting connect it. Connect all that together. You can lift up if you want to. You can lift up there if you want to put in a phrase. But in measure 5, these are 2-note slurs that put down, up, down, up, down, up. Down. Just be careful when you do this down, up that you don't accent the up, because when we push up, we tend to accent it. No, the accent, natural accent's on the other note. That's what we want. Okay. So you put in the articulation. Now at the end, the last measure, that is a staccato and an accent. So you can play it a little louder. I don't know that you need an accent when it's loud because it's forte, but make it staccato, come off of it. Just boom, off. Yay. Okay. Dynamics. MF at the beginning. With both hands here. There's whatever you think moderately loud is. I don't know. And then measure 5. Now you're soft. So this very soft. If you would like, you could come down gradually a little bit on measure 4. To prepare for it, it's interpretation. Then on measure 9, you start going soft, come back, loud, both hands. Anyway, and then you're getting moderately soft and loud and all that stuff, and that all applies to the right hand. Keep the left hand in the background then for the rest of it. Now, on measure 16, you see a note to prepare the left hand. That's Faber's way of telling you got to move. They're just telling you you're here and you got to be here. So somewhere during the rest, you're simply going to come down. Then the speed, moderately with a swing. Okay, so we're going to swing the eighth notes. We're going to swing the counting. It's not 1 and 2 and. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and somewhere in the middle. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And you just swing the rhythm all the way through it. Yeah. Two, three, four. Don't copy me, please. You feel it. Remember the natural accents? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Feel those as you're going through the whole thing. Let's play this very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm going to swing the rhythm, but I'm not going to do the louds and softs. So I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go.